Hare Krishna, welcome to Hare Krishna News. Our news for the day is TOVP Daily Tour Diary, Day 80 to 85. Day 80, Arrival in Toronto, Canada. They had to take an extremely early flight on Saturday morning, May 30th, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to get to Toronto, Canada. They were picked up by Subha Vilas Prabhu along with his wife, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada and father of one of the TOVP Canada Team, Indresh Prabhu, in whose home they were staying for next 2 nights. That evening, Indresh Prabhu and his wife Kishori hosted a pre-TOVP program in the very large temple room of their new mansion-like home. The Padukas and Sitari received an Abhishek and Pushpanjali during Kirtan as the room filled with more than 200 devotees. Ambarish Prabhu and Swaha Mataji had also joined them for the next 2 days, and Ambarish Prabhu, Radhajivan Prabhu, Jananivas Prabhu and Swaha Mataji spoke about the TOVP project. It was not meant to be a fundraiser as the local temple in Toronto was scheduled for the next day. A feast was served and devotees left inspired for the next day's presentation. Day 81, TOVP presentation at ISKCON Brampton and ISKCON Toronto. ISKCON Brampton is a suburb in the Toronto area that has a small temple and congregation of devotees. On Sunday, May 21st, they made their way for a special midday Sunday Feast TOVP program, which was also attended by His Holiness Bhakti Marga Swami, who had come specially for the TOVP presentation in Brampton and Toronto that day. After the Abhishek of the Paduka and Sitari, Pushpanjali and Kirtan, Bhakti Marga Swami, Radhajivan Prabhu and Jananivas Prabhu all spoke and inspired the devotees with their greatness and importance of the TOVP project. Pledges started coming in and at the end, $243 was pledged. Prasadam was then served. From Brampton, they went to Toronto Temple, one of the original temples during Srila Prabhupada's physical presence. He very much liked this large old church building and will often comment in a joking manner how ISKCON is buying old churches throughout North America because the Christian could no longer attract people to them. Srila Prabhupada called the temple New Remuna Dham on account of naming the presiding deities Shri Radha Kheer Chor Gopinath, after the same deities in India who are found in receiving the offering of kheer daily. He instructed the devotees to do the same. The temple was almost filled with the capacity of 300 to 400 devotees eagerly waiting to hear from the TOVP team, which now consisted of His Holiness Bhakti Marga Swami, Jambarish Prabhu, Jananivas Prabhu, Radhajivan Prabhu and Swaha Mataji. Every devotee became inspired by the presentation and the pledges soon started to roll in. By the program's end, $930,000 had been pledged. A Pushpanjali ceremony took after. Jananivas Prabhu placed the satari on everyone's head, and the program came to a close with a wonderful prasadam feast. Day 82 to 85, 4 days in the Toronto area. The 4 days from June 1st to June 4th in Toronto, visiting different devotees' homes and other nearby temples and devotee communities. June 1st, they had brunch at the home of Shakshank and Satyabhama in Toronto. Traveled to Muskoka for a TOVP presentation to 50 devotees and Indian congregation members, organized by Jai Gopal and Vyasacharya Prabhu. They received a pledge of $34,000 and spent their night in Muskoka. June 2nd, returned to Toronto for lunch at the home of Rupa and Sanatan Prabhu. Evening Sangha with Jananivas Prabhu at the Toronto Temple. June 3rd, morning program at the Bhakti Lounge in Toronto. Later, they tripped to Niagara Falls. And evening program at the home of Jagannath Mishra Prabhu in Burlington. June 4th, they visited 5 devotee families' home, and the day ended with a final TOVP program at the Canada Temple, Scarborough. The temple devotees, though a small group without the temple of their own yet, and led by Anand Gauranga Prabhu, pledged an astounding $2,15,000, bringing the total Greater Toronto Area visit pledges up to 1.4 million. This ends our news for the day. For more news, keep watching Hare Krishna News. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel ISKCON Desire Tree for more spiritual videos. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.